The families of 21 teens who died at the Enyobeni Tavern in the Eastern Cape still want answers. They're now demanding results of toxicology tests done on their loved ones. The families will be marching to the provincial health department today. And our reporter eNCA's Ronald Masinda joins us now with the very latest. And good morning to you, Ronald. Just give us a backstory of, how adamant the parents of, the 21 young people that lost their lives at Enyobeni Tavern are in terms of getting answers, getting to the bottom of what actually killed their children.
Good morning, Tumela. Well, just to bring the viewers up to speed as to how we got to this point now. Of course, initially, following the aftermath of the incident that claimed 21 young lives, there were various reports about the probable cause of death of the 21 young people. Initially, some had said that they succumbed to death due to a stampede at the overcrowded venue. Then there were reports of a carbon monoxide poisoning, and this was speculated because there was a petrol generator at the venue used when there were power outages at Enyobeni Tavern. There were also reports of methanol detected in the system of the 21 deceased. And then, of course, the Eastern Cape Health Department came up with the official report to suggest that the 21 young people died from suffocation. We are outside of the building of the Eastern Cape Health Department with the parents still looking for answers. We are joined up by Khulekile Ngandana, who is one of the parents. Tata, thank you so much for your time. We have been waiting. It is cold. What has the health department told you?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers as well. We are here today as the parents at the health department offices where toxicology things are being done. Firstly, the gates are closed. We were not allowed to access inside the building. Then we've managed to get hold of one of the senior people here, which is Dr. Maharaj, of which when I spoken to him, he told us that the reports are no more with them as the Department of Health. After doing all what they needed to do, the tests on the bodies of the children, they gave all the reports to the South African Police Services, of which that's where the reports are with the South African Police Services. We also know that we are always constantly in communication with some of the people who are the leading investigators on this case. We've managed to speak to Brigadier Mkotyana to make an appointment with him so that we can have a chat with him to pave a way forward as to what to do from here. He acknowledged that the results are with them, the South African Police Services, but because the case is still an ongoing thing and is still under investigation, we are unable for now to have those reports, but we ask that we sit down with him so that he can tell us that face to face so that we can understand the nitty-gritties of about that.
I mean, it's nearly 13 months later since this incident occurred. Why do you think it has taken so long to get this report?
On my side, I will say I don't know why is it taking so much. Because if you, as you were going the journey with us throughout the cases in court, the case that is before the court now is the case of selling alcohol or allowing underage children to be in that place. What we are interested in, as much as this one we are also interested in, but is the fact that our children passed away there. We need to know the criminal case. What is going to happen about that? I mean, there has to be somebody who will be held reliable for that, because our children died there. There has to be justice for passing away of our children. So that's what we need from SAPS. So now if they have the result with them, what's holding them not to hold anything that is supposed to be held? If there is an inquest, they need to hold an inquest. If they have to charge somebody, someone has to be charged for that.
As a parent, what do you think the cause of death is?
Well, when I was listening to most of the witnesses in this case, there's a lot of saying that something smelly happened there. Something that was smelling, I don't know what is it, but on my side, when I look at it, those children, they didn't die because of the acidification or anything like that. If it's acidification, it's because of something that was released or sprayed in that place. Secondly, we know that when they given us those results, they said to us, all the children, alcohol, methanol, and carbon monoxide was detected to all the children. But we know that not all the children alcohol was detected from them. So that's why we want those results as the children, so that we can have a third party who can look at those results and see what is it that is on those results.
Siakangela Ndevo, accused number 1, believes that they may have been poisoned. Do you share his sentiments?
If he said they were poisoned by who? Because they were in his establishment. If he said they were poisoned, then the poison came from the establishment.
But he says that they were drinking. They came drunk, a lot of them, before they came to his establishment during that time.
If you look at the witness who was 18 years old, he came to the establishment around about 6 o'clock in the evening, in the dawn, you know. He was there until that incident, which means there was no other place that he went and drank from. He drank there. Most of them, most of those that came with their alcohol were the people who were outside. But those who were inside there, they bought alcohol from his establishment.
Before we wrap up, we've also received new developments this week that Enyobeni Tavern could be demolished, the upstairs structure, and this was due to BCM saying that this was not approved by them, and that this area is not zoned as a business area rather than a residential area. There are people in Scenery Park saying that they don't want this building to be demolished. They would like to see it as a heritage site in honor of the 21 young people. Do you want it demolished?
For now, I wouldn't like it to be demolished. I also understand what the community of Scenery Park is saying. From my side, the cases are still going on. So you cannot demolish a place where that incident took place until all the cases have been wrapped up. Only after the cases have been wrapped up, then they can only do whatever they want to do with it. But again, as I'm saying, I do understand what the community of Scenery Park is saying. I also love probably to have an heritage site for those who fallen in that place.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate your time. That was the view of one of the parents of one of the deceased from the Enyobeni Tavern tragedy. We are still waiting outside, hoping to hear from health officials here in the Eastern Cape.
All right, of course, as those parents continue to not only try and get justice for, their children, understandably still grieving at this time. A parent's loss of a child cannot be an easy one. We'll continue to, of course, place a focus on the story. And thanks to you, Ronald Masinda, my colleague out at Enyobeni Tavern. This is where, of course, the location sits where those 21 young people had lost their lives.